All right, week 17, we got Baltimore versus Miami. Baltimore is favored by 3.5 points, and I'm going to take Baltimore. So the model is a little bit mixed on this one. So the model is favoring Miami by 54%, which translates to about a 1 point spread. And when I come over here, then is it at the points, just the raw points, is it's 27-24, the median values. And then I would point out that the confidence interval is overlapping. So what that means is the high point for Baltimore overlaps with Miami. So what that says is that there's no statistical, according to the model, there's no statistical advantage at the 95% level. However, you can obviously see that 22-26 is barely overlapping 25-29. So, but that notwithstanding, when I come down to the Bayesian adjustment, because it says no, Baltimore should win by a lot, and I think part of that is when you look at it, Miami has largely beaten fairly poor teams, and they barely beat Dallas. Okay, and meanwhile, in their last game, Baltimore thoroughly routed San Francisco, and San Francisco is a really good team. And San Francisco came out and they looked horrible. But that notwithstanding, how much of that is because the Baltimore defense just thoroughly outplayed Brock Purdy in that offense, or is it that Brock Purdy just really probably regressed to the median? Good question. I don't know the answer to that, but what I think is I think Baltimore is probably um, extremely strong, and they're all their metrics points to it. And so with that, I'm willing to go with the fact that the model has been grossly overestimating the Dolphins, and it's been about right on with Baltimore. So I'd be willing to bet good money that Baltimore should be scoring somewhere in that 24-31 point spread, that point mark, and Miami probably below that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next the performance slides. So when we get to this case, because the model is going to use the raw performance numbers, that's where we come over here and you see that Miami has an advantage in their passing. And it's about the same over here with the rushing as well. But if you notice, there is definitely a slight advantage over here for the rushing in the median values for Baltimore. And meanwhile, you definitely see some of that higher upper end for the passing for Baltimore. When we come over here to the right, both teams I think need to take better care of the quarterback. Baltimore, and again, both of these teams have running quarterbacks. So when you got guys who run and get out of the pocket, they're also likely to get sacked more. I think that's what that's a reflection of, which is interesting because you would think that quarterbacks who are able to run would be sacked less. I think what it really works out to be is that they're mobile quarterbacks, they're able to get out of that collapsing pocket and make passes, but it comes at a risk. In both of these cases, we're also seeing the possibilities of some interceptions there, which makes sense. Definitely more fumbles on both of these teams I expect to see. And interestingly, I mean, you definitely see when you look over here at the explosiveness, any team that has Tyreek Hill, I think, is going to have explosive offensive numbers. And there's a clear advantage for Miami. But you kind of look at that upper end, and Baltimore has that too. But I think for the most part, because Baltimore is a more well-rounded pass and rushing attack, that you tend to see that comprehensive approach. So anyhow, if you like what you listen to, click like and subscribe, and good luck with your games.